Hi, folks. Welcome back to another week of the Tiger Sports Show. As we go truly social distance this week. We didn't even go into the school. We're all over Adams County here. Tren, how was the week in Tiger Sports? Do you think?
Oh, it was a pretty good week. Uh, Basketball teams had some West Coast teams in. Um, Younger basketball got their season started. Swimming had to drive out to McCook, but they did it before the weather turned. I did call the snow. You said last week you didn't think it was going to snow. I was
I just said the snowflake disappeared from my wife's forecast. She's the one who watches the forecast close, and she always tells me when the snowflakes disappear. It makes her very grumpy because, like 10 days out, there'll always be snowflakes, and then they disappear, and she likes it when it snows. I don't like it when it snows.
right. I can hear it. Yeah, that's fun. But
I
yeah,
talked to some swimmers. They were, go ahead, Trent.
no, you go.
I talked to some swimmers and they're a little wary of the buses. Evidently, last year they had a couple buses have some mechanical problems. So they were really planning. They had blankets and pillows with them. They were basically planning to go on the Oregon Trail just to get out to McCook. But they had a pretty good day out there. We'll talk about that in a minute. But let's talk about the wrestling team who headed to Omaha last week. They were supposed to be in the Omaha South Invitational, and they technically were though they didn't go anywhere near Omaha South. They were wrestling at Omaha Burke. How'd things go for the wrestlers, Trent? I thought you said you were going to do that.
No, that wasn't
Oh, all
me.
right. All right. Well, here's what I know about the wrestlers. The wrestlers won both their dual matches. They beat Omaha Burke, Class A school, and then they beat Boone Central from up in Albion. Boone Central is a co-op between Albion, Boone Central, and Newman Grove. They used to call themselves Boone Central Newman Grove, but this year the Boone Central School Board got cranky and decided they just wanted their name on it because they were much bigger than Newman Grove. So I don't know. I don't know what kind of Newman Grove wrestlers they had going, but they didn't have enough to handle the Tigers. Tigers had several undefeated wrestlers on the day. Jackson Phelps moved between 170 and 182 pounds, won both his matches. One of your favorites from football, Jet Samuelson, won a couple matches at 152. Marcus Miller, who I know is out watching the show. I hear from Marcus ever so often. Got a couple pins at 120. I tell you, Trent, if he keeps pinning people, we're probably going to have to interview him on the show.
Yeah, that I think if he gets to maybe 5 or 6 pins.
5 or 6 in a row.
Yeah.
All right, we got to set goals high for that guy. Uh, Blake Kyle was 1-0 at 138 and then had a forfeit. There were a lot of open weights. Cameron Brumbaugh had a pin and then a forfeit. Blake Davis, our favorite old linebacker, he had a couple forfeits at 220. And Landon Widener was undefeated. Nobody wanted to wrestle him at 145. So a good day for Coach Laux and the boys. Next week, they've got their big home duel against Grand Island Northwest. Tren, we know the governor changed the rules about who can come. Has Hastings High made any announcements yet?
I don't know. You would probably know more than that on me. I
I
have
don't know.
no.
You're better at watching Facebook and stuff.
Wow, I don't know.
All right. Well, we'll keep an eye out for that. It might be a chance for more people to come to that home duel than we had expected. Right now, we're still households only, as far as I know. Uh, I don't know. I'm still nervous about the numbers. I kind of just assume not be in a big hurry to open back up. But that's Tuesday night at home against Ground Northwest. Always a battle. Always a battle against the Vikings. A couple great football games we had this fall. I'm sure the wrestling meet will be a pretty good one too. Is that the last two state champions, Northwest and Hastings, in wrestling? The
In,
last two Class B.
the Northwest, I thought was runner up last year. or they
Yeah.
finished in
So we got 2
5.
great wrestling programs. That should be fun to watch. And then on Saturday, the wrestlers head to the Flatwater Fracas. Always a meet where they get to see some wrestlers who they don't see otherwise. I think that's something wrestling coaches have really done a nice job of. Changes in the last, I don't know, 15 years or so. They just get to wrestle so many different people. When I was in school, the guys would wrestle the same guy from Columbus and Grand Island 5-6 times during the year. Flatwater Fracas will be Saturday over there. Let's go to swimming next. Trend, you get a chance to see any of those results, or am I up for swimming too? Because I know them.
For swimming, the only thing I can say is they were following the Coach Sad's rule where you pack the bag and you don't use it, because whenever we went to holiday tournament in Columbus, we always had to pack the emergency clothes bag, but we always came home in a blizzard. So
You never got to stay overnight, huh?
no.
Coach Sadge was all about being prepared. Well, all right. Well, the girls went out to McCook. I think there were 4 teams out in that meet at McCook, and the girls went out and won that meet. They were the champions of the McCook Invite. The boys, I think, finished second. I know North Platte won the boys' side, but I've got some of the results here, and I looked up the swimming manual trend last week after Jay Sepperly and Hayden Stevenson kind of taught us about how you qualify for state swimming. I looked up the chart. So I know some stuff here. All right, here's what we've got. Izzy Cervini won the 200 medley, 200 individual medley. She was just off the secondary qualifying time, so she's knocking on the door. Caitlin Musil and Lucy Fago were second and third. So the Tigers dominated that individual medley. Diana Barlita won the 50 free and the 100 free, so we had the fastest swimmer there. It's always good when you have the fastest swimmer. And she hit her secondary times in those. She may have hit those before. Hey, behind you, is that an Adams Central banner there?
No.
It looks like that's Adams Central.
No, that's old New England Patriots. You guys always give me out.
Oh, I thought you were doing the Adams Central show next. All right. Still on.
That is
still on the girls' side.
Well, if you'd let me finish, that is a 1993 pom-pom up there from Class A championship game. So if you're going to be...
That's not a red and blue one?
No, it's a black and orange one. It's 93 pom-pom from the Lincoln Southeast game. So...
Oh. It's not a red and blue one from the Adams Central SCOTUS C1 championship in 93?
No. You guys are always doing that.
All right, more girls swimming. Abby Lauder won the 500 free, so we had the best distance person at the meet too. That's how you win meets. She got a secondary time in that. Then the girls won both the 200 free and 400 free relays and got a secondary time in their 200 free, at least if I'm understanding the swimming chart right. That's what's going on. On the boys' side, Jay Sepperly won the 200 free. Max Ferris was second. Jacob Haase was a double winner. He won the 200 IM and the 100 breast. And if I'm reading the chart right, he's super close to secondary times there. Jarrett Oshner was the best sprinter in the meet. He won the 50 free and the 100 free. And then the boys 400 free relay won, and they look to me like they're knocking on the door on a secondary time. So that kind of fits what the kids told us last week. Lots of young girls doing really well, plus Diana. And then some good relays for the girls because they're deep. And the boys looking pretty good there. That's a good meet for the boys. Next week for the swimmers, they've got another home duel. Boy, this seems like they're at home a lot, doesn't it, Trent? Is that more than you're used to?
No, I probably a little bit at the beginning. I think they're home a bunch. So that's good that they're at home. Because Tuesday's supposed to snow again. So.
Is it? Well, they got the Kearney Swimming Bearcats in, so that won't be a very far drive if they deal with any weather. That's Tuesday at the YMCA. Friday, they're supposed to go to the Southeast Invite. Is that back on?
I don't know.
Lincoln Public is swimming So maybe that's back on, but that's usually diving day. Maybe they're just sending the divers down there because Saturday it says they have a quad at Kearney High. My gut is that the Friday calendars may be wrong, and we're just having that quad with Kearney High on Saturday. But
Yeah,
we'll see. Check the official website to see that, folks.
that's what they told us
All
last week.
right. Ready to talk about basketball?
That's what they told us last
What was that,
week.
Trent?
That's what they told us last week. It would just be Saturday at Kearney. So
Okay. Well, that's what I'm going to plan on Saturday at Kearney then. All right. Did you get to see all 4 basketball games this weekend? Well, what'd you think about the Tigers hosting the West Coast teams?
I saw the 2 on Friday. I watched the Tigers stream on Saturday because I made the wrong choice of staying home and watching a certain football game. So,
I forgot about that. That was a little disappointing, Trent. I watched the end.
yeah, it is what it is.
All right. Well, let's talk about the boys' side of thing. They had an exciting game Friday night. Maybe didn't end up like the Tigers wanted. The Tigers took their first loss of the season, 47-49. You were saying that came down to last possession?
Yeah, it was down to the last couple. We had chances to score. We got the stop. The Tiger bench, Coach Danielson does a good job of getting his bench to help make some noise. That got the parents to stomp on those wood bleachers, which always makes a lot of noise. And they missed a big free throw, and we had chances to win the game at the end. They missed. Whitty had 24, 25 points on Friday. Lions was good. They had a 6'6" guard, forward type who could shoot threes. He looked like Jimmy from Hoosiers, but a couple inches taller. He had a nice roll shot, and Tigers played pretty well. Lions one of the top teams in the state, and Tigers got back in the game with a lot of grit and hustle, and we're right there at the end, and that's where you'd want to be. So, and then Saturday they jumped on Gehring early, got up 22-5, hit a lot of big 3-pointers. Our favorite player, Garcia, G2, hit some big threes. Whitty had some big threes. I saw pictures of Buff driving to the hoop with 3 defenders on him. So, and then they ended up winning, I think it was 57-31 on Saturday against Gehring.
Yep, that's what I've got. Gabe Garcia didn't get excited at all when he hit those 3, did he? He just usually stays pretty even keel.
Yeah, Gabe's always excited, and so is Whitty. So, but they're shooters.
Yep, a lot of enthusiasm from those guys. That's fun to see. Well, the boys have a trip to Kearney Catholic, and then York coming to town this week, just like the girls did. Now, I got an up-close look at those girls' games. What did you think of the girls' ball games?
Last week I got in trouble for saying what I did. So, according to the Tribune, the Friday game was a little sloppy from what I saw. So, then it looked like you were.
Yeah, I thought we played. Yeah, I thought we played better on Saturday. Honestly, Friday we were really trying to create a little defensive pressure. And sometimes I can kind of goad the girls into a frenzy a little bit. I get after them a little bit. And we played really hard on defense, but the problem was we just kept playing kind of crazy on offense. We never got into a rhythm. Only scored 44 points, but won at 44-20. Alliance is better than they were last year, but they're still going to struggle. They're still going to struggle a lot. That's a team that's probably not going to get a ton of wins on the year, though. They're definitely heading in the right direction. I talked to Coach after the game. They just played a lot more aggressive than they had the year before, and a lot more fearless on taking some shots, which I think was a good step for them. Mac Long had 11 for us that night, and Daisy Seeley had 10. Maddie Hilgendorf had 6, and Al Curtis coming off the bench had 5. We've had some nice We've got a bunch of seniors on the bench who are just looking to help where they can. They've definitely been helping in practice. Al came in, gave us a little scoring punch late, and I got a shout out to Aubrey Sweely, who had to help us out a little bit at the post when we had some issues, and she's been practicing really well. She's undersized in there, but she came in, did a lot of good things against Alliance, really helped us, and played several quality minutes in the first half of that one when we still weren't quite sure how it was going to come out. So that ended up being a 44-20 win. Then Saturday, like you said, I just think we played a lot better. 52-38 win over a pretty decent Gehring team. Much better team than Alliance, I think. What you watched the stream of that one while you were watching the Huskers?
Yeah, I was watching both. I was multitasking. I have a question for you. How was that turnaround? You play at 5:30, probably gets over at 7 on Friday. You got to turn around and get the girls in early, warm up probably 10-ish. What was that turnaround like? And I noticed you played a lot of girls on Friday night to keep the legs fresh.
Yeah, I think the coaching staff got a little smarter after last week, where we probably stuck with the starters late into that Seward game. I was just kicking myself when I watched that film on Sunday after we'd gone and not played well at Crete on Friday night after the Thursday game, and we had that Seward game in control earlier. I could have been a little looser with the substitution earlier. So I promised myself if the same situation happened with the Lions, that I wouldn't wait too long. And so I think that helped. We got our bench in the game, and I tell you, they came in there and played really solid and took care of that game. Gives me a lot of confidence that if we get up in a game, they can come in and keep us up and keep things under control. And that's big because the starters then were rested the next day, and we got scoring all over the place on Saturday. 52 points isn't just, a crazy amount of points, but we had a couple in double figures again, which we're averaging right now. Mac and Daisy are averaging double figures, but then we got 9 from KK Laux, who was active this week. Good to have her back. 7 from Maddie and 6 from Charlie Coyle. So, 5 scorers putting significant points up. I thought the offense just looked a lot better on Saturday, and that might have been because I sat down and shut up a little bit. Sometimes if I sit down and shut up, we play better.
Yeah, it looked like Mac hit some big threes. Daisy hit some threes. Looked like there was a lot of flow, and you turned turnovers into points, which I thought was pretty big. So
yeah, and through everything, even at Crete, we just didn't have a ton of turnovers. I think we had even turnovers with Crete, but Crete turned them into points that night, and we just turned them into another possession where we couldn't get anything going. We still aren't shooting the ball quite like I think we're capable of. I think one of the goals this week will be a little more game-like shooting in practice, trying to get people up and going on that. But I like, you just every weekend you want to take a step forward. I felt like this weekend we did. We got a heck of a challenge coming this week. Kearney Catholic, really one of the best programs in the state. We'll go over there for the first time in program history. Last year was the first time we ever played them. And that was a game last year we felt like we let slip out of our fingers. We had that. We could have been in control. We needed to just handle pressure, pass the ball, catch the ball, and we didn't get that done. So we're hoping to play better over there. And then we've got the York Dukes, number 2 team in the state, coming in Saturday. Kind of a redo for us. Crete was a top team in the state. We didn't show very well there. We'd like to show a lot better Saturday.
Yeah, that would be big. York got the 6-foot point guard and another one of our friends that we know pretty well from your college days. So get the Dukes into town, and hopefully we can put up a good fight. So.
Yeah, do you know anything? What will the boys' games look like against Kearney Catholic in York? You know anything about those teams?
Kearney Catholic's good. They pushed our boys last year. They had a good group of football players. I'm not sure if Nebraska quarterback plays basketball, but they got one of his big receivers, who's their best player last year. And then York, blast from the past, Tiger alum Chad Finney's boys on York. They have some football players that'll be familiar to Tiger fans some names, and York always brings over a tough team. So
Well, and Coach Danielson's a York fella, right? So big game
yeah,
for him.
yeah, it is. Yep, that's definitely a game, and his brother played for York, so it'll be interesting against the Duke. So nice little game before
I,
break.
I'm old enough to remember Coach Danielson and his brother playing. All right. Well, you mentioned the younger kids getting going this week. The younger kids basketball. I know the girls. We took a couple tough losses to Grand Island sophomores. We're playing mainly freshmen against their sophomores. And what was the home game? Oh, Aurora. Aurora kind of got the better of us. I bet our girls would like that one again. And then they went over to Kearney Catholic and got a win. So that was a big win for our reserves. Do you know anything how the boys' reserves came out?
No, I didn't hear anything on that. I'll try to do better next week.
Yeah, we're gonna have to keep an eye on those reserve teams because sometimes those games get away. Now the junior varsities didn't play at all this week. This game against the far west teams, we don't play JV. We only travel with varsity teams.
Yeah, that's actually pretty fun.
Yeah, we're trying to hold that thing together for next year, but we need a partner school that will play them on the other nights. That'll go out west with us. Used to be Columbus. Then this year, Adams Central took one of the games, and Kearney Catholic took one of the games. But we need a team that's willing to drive out west. So if you hear of anybody who's looking for 2 games in the middle of December, let us know. All right. I think on the film today we'll watch. I think we'll watch both the Gehring games, the girls against Gehring, the boys against Gehring. That way we'll see a couple Tiger wins. How's that sound, Trent?
Worked for me.
All right. We're still waiting on All State. Were you surprised that football All State didn't come out this morning?
Yeah, I was puzzled. I thought late last night we would see football state. So probably with Husker football, things are a little different. I know the newspaper staff has had to make lot of cuts lately, so they're probably doing things a little different. So.
Yeah. Yeah, that's probably true. Hey, I see Chris Davison showing up uh, in the chat. You remember old Chris playing some outside linebacker for us a long time ago. That's a good guy. I think he's out. I think he's out by Bertrand. Looks like he's got a hunting picture out there. He always liked to go hunting.
Yeah, a lot of
All
good
right.
news.
Well, we'll keep an eye on that all state football.
Yeah, I'd say next week we'll have all state show.
And I tell you, it'll be fun to relive that fall sports season because I think it was one of the most successful ever in Tiger history. I think when we talk about it, we talk about individual and team success. We're going to see about as much success as Hastings High has ever had in the fall. So we'll have a chance right before Christmas to get some warm feelings talking about what a great fall it was.
Yep, definitely.
All right. Well, we can't end the show till you say it, Trent.
I'll go Tigers. Try to get some W's this week.
All right. Go Tigers. Thanks for watching, folks.